got a fun-filled show tonight.
I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General. 860 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to Nationals.
I'm around.
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
We locked the
I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.
What up? We back. We back with great topics tonight. Lively discussion. I got garlic bites. Gee, no, I really wanted these. I really wanted the glizzies, but I couldn't find a way to make it to the store to find none.
Yo, Bug got an ill word for glizzies, a new one that I get from my 18-year-old son is ill. He calls them meat rockets. Meat rockets.
No. Cereal, bro. I'm a cereal glizzy eater.
Yo, you pause. Pause. Big pause.
I'm too old to play the pause game.
I'll be saying that too, but the kids don't be letting me get away with it because they don't let me live it down. Damn, you got me thrown off what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Hey, Sid, no. See. Hey, Sid, I don't play the game, Sid. Damn.
Yeah, we too old for that.
Pause. All right, now, you know what? I'm on the internet. This gonna get played if I lose during the fall. I can only imagine what Matt's gonna do just during the damn pot during the All-Star game. Jesus Christ. But now it wasn't that. Yo, bro, that's my choice of. You know what? I can't win the argument, so I'm gonna just gracefully bow out.
Bro, I can't even believe you went there.
Bro, you know, at cookout, you know what? Change the subject. Change the subject. Tournament been good. Got a couple upsets, Tito.
Oh, you've been watching? Today was the first round, or am I late? You know, we was handing out equipment all week. We started practice, like real practice this week with equipment finally. We finally got outside. My life been wrapped up in Bell City right now. Anyways, it's your boy, Coach Career, the General, and I'm here with the big host, Big Bro.
Prez, Mr. Above 140. Great show tonight, Tito. All right, Tito. So, this is how we're going to start this show. A very serious topic, and I want everybody to think about this. Don't be emotional over this topic, because you could very well get emotional. All right, let me put it up for y'all. And here's my question posed tonight, Tito. You ready? Here's my question. Boom. The question is, should your community's responsibilities supersede your personal feelings and when you're in power and you football? Now, let me break it down for you. So, Tito, I'm the president of Hartford. If I notice that making a move for Hartford to do something, XX, let's say, but I don't really want to do it because me personally, I don't want to do it. It'll affect my life, or I won't be cool with certain people. But it's the best thing for the Hartford community. Should I have the right as the volunteer to not make the best decision for the Hartford community, or do I got a duty as the president of Hartford that, regardless of my personal feelings, make the best decision for the community that you represent? What you think?
I mean, again, when you've lasted as long as we've lasted in this business, it's not because we make bad choices. Now, our journey's been very different. You kind of been with one program. I've been all over the place because it's my love to coach. I was never really locked in with any one program like that because I haven't had kids that played. I haven't had my own personal children play. My oldest son aged out in 2008. So I haven't had a kid in the last 18 years that played. And like I said before, this little one don't seem like that's the route he want to go just yet. But anyways, my point is you don't last this long unless you do what's best for the program you're with. Never once, and I think part of our fortune in this is never once have I ever put my personal feelings in front of the program I represented. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if I had a problem with the situation in the program it was, I always had the freedom of choice to walk away from it. When I ran programs, we were always successful because every decision I made, what was best for the program and what was best for the community. You know what I'm saying? Like what was best for my coaches, the kids that are in the program, and the city I'm representing. I've never made a choice based on my own personal feelings. And trust me, I barely like anybody in this business. And I've always, even when I had to do business with people I don't necessarily like, the business supersedes your personal feelings. And that's the bottom line. You have to do what's best for your program, your brand, your community, your coaches, your parents. It's all wrapped up in one when you make those decisions. You can't let your emotions get the best of you and make a decision based on how you personally feel. And we see that happen all the time. Unfortunately, over 25 years, we've seen many people that put their feelings in front of the business. And you can't do that. You got to take your emotions out of it. It has to be separate. And you got to do what's best for your kids, your community, your coaches, even if that means you walk away. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. That's the
and if you can't live with it, if you can't live with it, you walk away. Like that's how it's supposed to go.
So you're saying, let me get this right. You're saying if my decision is best for the community, but I wouldn't be able to be involved, I should do what's best for the community, then gracefully bow out.
Yeah, I mean that's what that's called adulting, isn't it?
So I'm gonna tell you, I think
that's my take. Again, I'm not speaking for anybody. That's my take on this conversation. And I honestly, I'm speaking off of experiences I've had in the business. You've seen me walk away from places, clear as day. Never take a kid with me. Never. Now, you know what I'm saying? Never take a kid with me. Even when I had to walk away from my own program in East Hartford. Now, there was many other factors that played out at the time. My personal life was, there was a lot of factors that played out. But at the end of the day, when it's time to take the high road, you have to be willing to take the high road for the betterment of the situation.
I think we see nowadays that what people in power do is they keep those that's not in power in the dark about knowing the holistic view of what they got their community involved in. And if you keep your community and your coaches and your people that's asking you to lead them, Tito, when you're in the meetings, in the dark about the reality of their situation, you can always manipulate their situation to do what you personally want to do, even if it's not best for them. The problem is when that reality starts to spread and people in your community start realizing, wait a minute, what's best for us holistically is to do B, but you alone want to do A. And I'm gonna tell you the weirdest part about this is oftentimes people like you and I would get blamed for people's programs and communities wanting to do something that we've discussed on a podcast or that we've done, and they'll blame us and say, you guys don't want to do what Phil and Tito's saying, or you guys want to follow them. And the truth of the matter is, Tito, we're never to blame. Because the truth is, if the Hartford community wants to do something else other than where I'm leading them, the first thing I got to look at is internal. People don't do that in power, in youth football especially, because it's hard for you not to believe you don't have the right decision. So instead of me saying, damn, what did I do? What did my program do? What did my league do? What is my conference and nationals doing? I blame you. It's easy to project what's happening internally. The truth of the matter is anything that happens in the Hartford Hurricanes is and starts with me. I can't blame Tito for nothing that happens inside the Hartford Hurricanes. Now, something that happened league-wise, okay, now we got to talk about external factors. But that's why I think people don't internalize their issues, because the truth of the matter is most programs lead with an adult making the decision based on what's best for them. Why everywhere we go, I'm defending my first major league football coach, cough, cough, boots and Phil. Hey, you know what, Quan? That's a funny thing, right? Because you oftentimes have to do it, but the next time you do it, I want you to ask them something for me. Just ask them if they know me. I love that. I love doing that. I love when people say, yo, so-and-so don't like you. I go, I never met that person a day in my life. So they'll watch this or they'll watch something and they come up with this thought theory of who we are, what we do, and how we act. When the truth of the matter is, most of the time, the people that's criticizing us for these things, I don't know them. And then they assume you and I are uneducated. Well, we can't talk about degrees because then they'll say degrees don't matter on education. Then you can't talk about street knowledge because we've been in this game for longer than most people that's been in the game. And so they'll go to other stuff. Well, I don't really like the way Tito act like he tough. Okay. They can actually click a red X in the upper left-hand corner of their screen, Tito, and never watch you or dislike you, but they don't do that. They watch you to dislike you, then spread the word. It's weird to me to hear constantly people say, yo, this president said this, or a president is using Bible verses against you. I never met these people, Tito. I don't know half of the people that says these things. Now, the truth of the matter is, it don't bother me because, Tito, I tell you all the time, we have to draw out these emotions from people because it lets us know we're relevant. There is not, and I'm going to tell you something. I asked a young man recently, yo, what is it that I thought? Because people say a lot of things. Yo, you know, they say you don't like me. Like, I never met you. And he was like, Brian, that's not true. Right? And now, so some of it could be the person telling you is on BS. But what he said, I tell them the dream you got going is the dream you spoke about. Exactly. But you know what? What did Ross and Drake tell Kobe wife? You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. They don't know what it was like when we were the Hartford Panthers, when the city would drop piles of equipment off, make us go through it. Helmets didn't get refurbished. We played 4 or 5 games and the city said, all Hartford kids, y'all done. When I used to be like, yo, imagine us on national television in the city of Hartford. Imagine 200 kids out at this field. That's the vision. You have to project that stuff and talk about that stuff. Then when it comes to reality, those that don't know where you came from assume this is where you just landed. They don't know the work. So they can say stuff like, man, Tito ain't for the kids. Are you kidding me? He stuck around when they have equipment, when there was no glitz and glamour, when there was no money, when you had to stand on the corner and shake a pail at the corner of Cronin across the street from Bowles Park in the hood, and you just asking people, yo, throw some dimes and some nickels and some quarters in his hat so we can get these kids popping. But now you don't see that. You see the product today, so you project and you say, oh, man, them dudes don't care about kids. They just all about the fame of it. Or they just want
personal. It's feelings. It's feelings. It's feelings. When you're on the business side of it, you got to detach the feelings from what makes sense. What makes sense got to come first, even if it's against your personal beliefs. And we know a lot of times people that occupy these seats with these organizations, they make decisions based on how they feel, not what's best for your program or organization.
Bro, we didn't even have opportunities to play. Forget about that. Tito, You might have gave me my first out of Hartford game ever in my life.
No, I did.
Wasn't it who you set me up with? Southern?
Southington, yeah, the Southington, who are now currently the Southington Junior Knights, is when my boy
first game the Hartford kids, and we played
Rich Kavickas. I convinced him to play y'all. Rich Kavickas
at night, and they beat us.
2008. Let's go. Let's give them the timeline. That was in 2008. Your first travel game was in 2008.
And we were in up to that point, we've never played out the city of Hartford ever. Then
you got that video. I saw that video somewhere recently.
Yes,
you got that video with Trent.
Then
Trent.
We joined Pop Warner in 2009 after AYF. What they do? Left us in the hallway for an hour, kicked us out the meeting and said, stand in the hallway. The Wildcats walked in. Yo, no, stop the meeting. After we had 7 to 12 votes already, yeses, to get in. Stop the meeting. We was asked to stand outside for 45 minutes, bro, looking like bums outside of a meeting. I got so frustrated. I said, yo, tell them we going. Because it doesn't matter. If you grinding and you really believe what you want, you don't let nobody treat you any type of way. So we walked out the meeting. The next day, Pop Warner came and met us in the hood. They met us at the Boys and Girls Club in Hartford. Voted us in that following month in person in our grills. We've been in Pop Warner ever since. People don't know. And even when we joined Pop Warner, we was using city equipment, Tito. You remember that? I had to go back to city to use their jerseys. We had netted jerseys with just Hurricanes written on it. All of the stuff that you see now, that's work. Us having an $8,000 college sled, how do you think we get that? That's grinding. I got the best sled in the city of Hartford, including high schools and everything. I didn't even see Trinity College have this sled, but I'm sure they got enough money to get it. But I got the best sled of any high school in the city of Hartford at my field.
And you got
I have to see lineman shoot in high school. And I even got a flip sled. I might have the only youth football flip sled in all of New England. This stuff, and yes, I'm bragging right now on the program, not me. This ain't all come from my work, right? This is, y'all seen it during the banquet. This is 70 volunteers, coaches, everybody, fundraising. We grinding. It's the board doing our thing. It's when you see the food truck out there trying to grind. It's a holistic view. And what do? That's why nobody would ever accuse the Hartford Hurricanes people of taking money. Our kids got too much stuff. They got tens of thousands of dollars spent on them, dog. You walk into my shed, it looked like Foot Locker. You seen it. Ask Lucas, how many pair of cleats you done got out of me? And you ain't even play. Gloves, cleats. Lucas every day he come to practice. Yo, let me get a pair of gloves. Let me get some cleats. You walk in a shed at Foot Locker. And so how do you get there, Tito? It ain't by doing what's best for you emotionally. Because I can tell you, Tito, it wouldn't look at you got some new ones. It would have been better for me, Tito, to spend $8,000 on my house than to buy a sled with the Hurricanes money. Talking about doing what's best for you personally, than what's best for the program. But you don't get from what Quan talking about from us having maybe 55, 60 kids total, Tito, using used equipment, right? To get into where we at today with 276 participants last year, dog.
We're making personal decisions.
And playing on national TV in front of 3.7 million people only 3 years after you joined Pop Warner. You don't get from there to there without doing what's best for your community. And so the question is, should you do what's best for your community? Yes. But I will tell you this, 90% of the reason why we got separate teams in all of our major cities is because there are people that won't do what's best for the community. They do what's best for them because people love power. Nobody wants to get rid of power. I'm going to tell you right now. That's the biggest, hardest thing for people to do is to get rid of power. So, like Quan said, I'm very much aware that I'm a polarizing figure in youth football. I'm aware of it. I'm aware that people draw conclusions of who I am. But it's nobody that'll tell you a couple things. One, I ain't never robbed nobody or took no money from nobody. The All-Star game, Tito, cost tens of thousands of dollars. You can talk to the videographers that got almost $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. You can talk to the people that stream us that get thousands of dollars. All of that stuff is paid up front, Tito. Most of that stuff is paid up front. I have never robbed nobody, taken nobody money. Ain't nobody ever asked me for help that I didn't help. So integrity-wise, they'll never talk about that. They'll only talk about what you talked about, your emotions. I don't like Tito. I don't like Phil. They'll never tell you nothing integrity-wise why they don't like me. Because I don't know anybody I know that I rock with, they can ask me for help with anything. I'm there. I'm outside with them. What we doing? May not always agree with what we gonna do, but we out. What we doing, bro? Let's do it, right? And so that's the thing. That's the difference between somebody that's doing what's best for them in community, in my eyes. Because if you go around this game, Tito, you and I didn't do this. We ain't had the luxury to dislike people. We just might have had a vibe from, because we were so small in those rooms, we couldn't even talk.
Yeah, nah.
Who's doing on the internet, Tito? If we was on the internet back then when you and I was in those rooms, we would have been ousted out the league.
Crazy.
We'd have been out the league. We used to have to sit in the back.
Totally different dynamic. Totally different dynamic. 25 years later, it's a totally different dynamic. When we, even now, like it was, even we're still not as old as those gentlemen were.
Nope.
When we was doing it back then. Now, people don't, this whole space, this whole space has always been dominated by people middle age to, and beyond. We kind of blazed the path of the young dudes that got seats in the room and became presidents. Like, cats don't remember. I was a president at 24 years old of the Middletown Tigers. At 24 years old, I was the president. I've been sitting in these rooms on the administration side since 2004 when I met Phil. That's how long ago I met him, when he was pitching the Hurricanes in 2004, and he didn't land in the league till 2009. So for 6 seasons, I watched this dude. I watched this dude for 6 seasons. For 6 seasons, and I already had teams in the travel circuit. I watched him for 6 years go through a whole bunch of ups and downs. Even to the point where he was in the Hartford City League, but taking travel games on the side.
Yo, and here's the thing. So people wonder why you got to give yourself flowers, or, somebody told me the other day, yo, the reason people be so mad at you is because you're constantly saying you're the best program in New England. I'm like, they don't know. Y'all don't know what we've been through, bro. Half of these programs won't make it. Half of the coaches that talk on social media, they jumped on board a program that's moving. Most of the people that I'm with right now in the Hurricanes was with us when we were in the Hartford League. I'll say that again because I want y'all to hear that. Most of the coaches currently right now in the Hartford Hurricanes, Ghost, Boot still there, Coke still there, G still there.
All there. All your originals are still there.
Tip is there, Conjures there. These people, dog, was with us in the Hartford League when we ain't have no equipment. So yeah, when we step out and we popping our shit, Chaz was with us our first year. Like when we're popping our shit, you don't understand the what it's like to crawl up out the mud, dust yourself off, take a shower, and then step out with the Nike sweatsuit first, and then the next day you got on Louis. Like they don't know what it's like to have to go through that process. Most of these guys joined the program that already had on Louis. So then they get on the internet and talk. So when I'm talking, I'm not bringing anybody down. I'm just picking us up. And the problem is nobody can accuse, I know nobody can accuse me of not doing what's best for Hartford. Now, doing what's best for Hartford don't mean I have to work with you even if it's best for you. The first question I have to ask, Tito, when everybody want to do anything with me, how does this affect the Hartford Hurricanes? If it affects the Hartford Hurricanes negatively, I'm not doing it. I don't care about your emotions, bro. I don't care about your emotions. There's 276 kids plus around 80 or 90 volunteers saying, Phil, just make the right decision. We trust you'll make the right decision, put our kids in the right position. We're going to trust you with this. Dude, you see the accolades. I don't, Tito, you know this, and most people don't. I don't even go to half of the awards or the accolades that people be wanting to give. Because I know the sentiment is, oh, he just want to be known for the work. I don't even go to half of them. Half of them, I'll be like, yo, thanks. Never even go. Don't post it. No, nothing. Right? And look, you be telling me, man, I'll go. Or you should go to that. I don't even go. Because I don't want the thought processes. That's what the work is about. It ain't a person in Hartford, Tito, that haven't seen me picking up garbage. It ain't a person in Stratford that we played or New Britain that we played that don't see Phil walk around the whole place picking up garbage with my hands, with a picker, cleaning up the field before the game and after the game. That's the grind. That's not what's best for me. I can promise you that. What's best for me is to be home with 3 girls that don't give a damn about football. Never had a son that played. So yes, on this show right now, I'm telling you, I'm giving a heart for Hurricane. I'm giving myself flowers. And we're putting out there, Tito, that there's too many people in all of our communities that we know, we'll never say it, but we know they don't do what's best for their community. They do what they want because personally, I don't like it. Like they'll say, I don't like that. But they can't give you substance on why they don't like it. I'm going to tell you right now, Tito, a lot of programs in the next 5 years, Tito, is going to either be going away or they're going to be so depleted that they're hanging on to a title that just makes them feel good. You and I both know who we're talking about and what we're talking about. Watch it. Now, we predicted a lot of people would go away, 2 or 3 years ago? I think you had said.
They're gone.
And they're all gone. They're all gone. So now watch. In 2 or 3 years, I want everybody out there to understand. And I don't care if you in-state, out-of-state, across seas, whatever. You find me somebody that's doing what's best for them personally and dragging people with them, you'll see them go away in 2 or 3 years. You see it all the time, though. You see it all the time. And
or they wind up in football Siberia, where they are currently at, if we want to keep it real. Like, you just gonna wind up in Siberia. So I'm being nice tonight, bro.
Okay. Let's get it back together. So again, we put to y'all, it seemed like an easy question, but it's not. If you're a volunteer and you've been elected president, should you have the ability to do what's best for you, even if it's not necessarily what's best for the community at the time? Because you're volunteering and giving your time, do you have that right as well? Some people would say yes, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, Tito, breaking news. I think everybody's seen it. It definitely took the air out of a lot of rooms, Tito, that we know of. But might as well show it off. The neighborhood generals, Tito, Central Connecticut, Pop Warner, Tri-State, Pop Warner, got another program. I think the program is going to be massive.
They're going to be all right. They're going to be all right. This is not going to be like the other spinoffs of, at least I believe. I know the brothers behind it. I believe this version of Springfield, the neighborhood generals, they're going to be just fine. They got some good brothers. They got some good brothers behind them. They're going to be just fine. I like the way they're coming out the gate. I don't want to project the way they're coming out the gate, because I'm telling you, I wouldn't be shocked if they run out more teams than they saying.
So I shout out to Wadi. He the president. I didn't know the brother. I know his name because we used to have words back and forth online about football stuff, nothing personal. But after meeting him and his crew, I think we as a board, and I can speak for Central Board on this, we as a board did feel like they represented the values that of what we trying to build, and they would do right by the Springfield community. And at the end of the day, that's what they're trying to do, and that's what they express to us. They want to present something in that community that allows them something beyond just football, life skills. I know the young brother's running his own nonprofit program anyway, working with youth, and that fits right along with the communities that we serve in us, Mount Hope, you guys, Bloomfield and Windsor, West Elmwood, Boston, Manchester, what I'm saying, Hartford. And so that fits right along.
We all have similar stories.
right? And we all have that desire. I think all of us can say that and show proof that that's what we're doing. And so I think if you look at it holistically, this kind of is forming into a nice league that's going to be very competitive. Very competitive. They're offering, 10U all the way down to 6U. So if you out there, you in Springfield and you got 10U and under, go to the Neighborhood Generals Facebook page. You can see it here. Tap in with the program and have a conversation. I will say, Tito, if I'm being transparent, that we in talks with other teams. Hopefully within the next month, we can announce another team. And again, we don't want
to. Just to be clear and just to be transparent, that puts Pop Warner as a whole in Connecticut at 22 organizations, I believe.
Yep, 11. Yep. 12
22
and 11.
Organizations that schedule each other for games. So don't ask these crazy questions of why there's no games available out there. We got our own issues over here.
Which is trying to get everybody the games because we need to make sure everybody's playing. And everybody do get 8 games, or they have been in the past. So, we're going to ask God that hopefully we can maintain our standard. And I'm going to just say it loud, Tito.
You ain't even got to wait the next year. I keep telling y'all don't got to wait the next year. I don't know what Westland's waiting on. I don't know what y'all waiting on. Y'all ain't got to wait the next year. All you got to do is make the call. Y'all know what call y'all got to make.
Jordan, get out of here. I can tell you right now, Tito, there will be no games outside of Pop Warner. Southern Connecticut Pop Warner, Central Connecticut Pop Warner will only play Rhode Island Pop Warner, RISMA, and Northeast Mass Pop Warner. That's what's going to happen. So everybody can call 1,000 people. You can call everybody. You can text everybody. I'm telling you what's happening. This is coming down from people that's above me, Tito. And so people can feel like, oh, Phil's blocking this. So I don't have to block anything. What was it? Just a year ago or a year and a half ago, one of the most famous New England teams was at my field at the Big House playing us at homecoming. It was jam-packed when I brought Springfield in. So it's the fact of the matter is I'm telling you what the rule is right now. So you guys can go out there, seek and beg and do all of this. I've spoken to all the presidents of all the leagues. We're going to do crossover games. We're going to help each other out when we need be. But the regional director has let us know we will be scheduling Pop Warner versus Pop Warner games. We even got New Jersey Pop Warner coming down. We went up there last year. They coming down this year.
My man Ron.
But I do want to put up, Tito, that we're not the only ones. RISMA grew as well, Tito.
Yeah.
RISMA Pop Warner grew. They grew by 3 programs, which is good. I don't know if it's up on their website yet. Let me check.
Do we know? I thought we mentioned it. What was it? North Providence?
They got Providence Junior Townies. They got Wareham back. They got East Providence.
No, the Junior Townies another time. Yeah, East Providence. It was one of them Providence, and not North Providence. East Providence. I'm sorry.
Hold on. I got it. I got the name. And I can tell you, Tito, that let me get the text message out. That they in talks with other teams as well. Hold on. And I don't want to jump in front of nothing for them, but I do want to big up all those towns that's joining because this is going to make for a fun. This is going to make for a fun regional bracket. Oh, they got East Providence. Who else? So I take it the whole keeping everything in New England segment was all smoke and fire. No, we are keeping it in New England. What are you talking about, Jordan? Did we do a segment saying everybody in New England playing each other?
No, that was when we had Trev give the.
Oh, that's Trevor.
Yeah, you got to talk to Trev Ford.
You holding me, yo, Jordan? Don't be holding me accountable for other dudes.
According to Jabari, on Facebook, his name is Jabari Makabu, whatever the Black Panther thing.
Oh, so yes, Jordan, that is still the goal, right? But we're talking about one big league, not 5 different leagues all throwing away the people in their league and coming together. I believe in the one big league. I still am an advocate. I will say,
Bro,
I want to
West Lincoln get in tomorrow. Jordan, West Lincoln get in tomorrow. West
actually
Lincoln
did
get in
light
tomorrow.
a yard, Jordan. I actually did fib to everybody out there. I still want to hold them.
Apply tomorrow.
I still want to hold. That's not gonna happen. Let's keep going. I still want to hold the meeting that I said. Jordan, that's what you're talking about. I think you're talking about the segment in which I wanted to have a discussion on us in New England doing what's best for our kids in New England holistically. I'm always about that. That don't change. That's the mission. I don't set the policy in the league that I'm in now, Jordan. Pop Warner League. I don't set the policies.
Somebody got to explain to me why me or Phil, him representing Hartford.
Hey, more than welcome, brother. I've been checking out your videos, and that was definitely not a catch. Give me the ref number. He can't do none of our games. Go ahead, yo.
Somebody got to explain to me why will we leave Pop Warner at this point?
Yo, Jordan, come coach with me, Jordan. Come down to Hartford. I got a spot for you, bro.
Why would we leave?
You're just like the Hurricane coaches.
Why would we entertain in this current juncture of where we're at in the infrastructure in New England? Why will we entertain anything other than Pop Warner? When I just told you there's 22 teams in Connecticut that play football in Pop Warner. Okay, you had RISMA, Northeastern. Who am I missing? Northeastern, RISMA.
And that's all national track teams, Tito.
Right.
That's no non-national track.
Am I missing? No, that's it, right? And then you said New Hampshire joined. I'm trying to think of all the people about.
Nashua, New Hampshire are about the same. Rocco grew by a couple teams. We can't really talk about one, Tito, so don't say nothing about the other one. But we know Nashua, New Hampshire just joined. Other teams joined, but we got to let them roll that out. We're not that privy to say it. And I'm not going to say who. There's a big league in talks with that's not in Mass or Connecticut. Let me say that. That's talking about bringing their entire league over. And if they do, I would definitely bring that league president on. That's 16 other teams. I'll tell you the tough part about getting it. It almost seemed good that you name all these teams, but you know, Tito, I always tell you I don't care about having a big, massive league. I care about having solid programs. And if you got 8 or more, I think you're doing a service on a national track in New England. It's so hard for us in New England to keep a real league together that's on the national track. It's so people don't understand how hard that is to form. That's why there's almost none. How many leagues in Mass, Tito, are on the national track right now that got more than 10 teams?
Well, Northeastern.
Right. Go, Pop Warner. Keep going. I think that's the only one.
Well, now, no, Central Mass is on the national track. It's just D3.
But do all 8 teams go national or a few?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they went D3.
I'm talking about a whole league. The whole league is on the national track. Paul got one of the dopest leagues, though. I'll give him props for that. With numbers and stuff, he got a dope league. I don't think it's none, Tito.
I don't think there's none left in Mass, just Northeast.
What about Rhode Island?
Rhode Island, RISMA and Blackstone, both on national track.
They don't have more than 10 teams.
No, they're down to, yeah, you're right. Right.
RISMA's the only one. And why did I say that? If we're looking at the landscape and you want to East Providence, Junior Townies left Blackstone, AYF, they down to like 6 teams, Ray Martinez said. Wow. See? So, and look, this ain't to tell y'all to do nothing. Do what y'all want to do. What I'm saying about this is it's hard to do. And it proves it when we are finding it hard to name in whole states 2 or 3 leagues that's doing it. Think about it. We can't name 2 or 3 leagues in the whole state of Mass. You know how big Mass is? We can't name a whole league in 2 or 3 leagues in Rhode Island that got more than 10 teams on the national track. It's difficult. Central was just formed, Tito, 4 years ago. And we're going down the right way. Why? We're doing things right. We're treating people with respect. Everybody can make a phone. Everybody can call Yolanda, call myself, call Kel. Now Marlise and Tiff and the rest of us and Rebecca, you've been able to contact us. We're open books. There's nothing to hide. You know, when we sitting at the table, we ain't all at the front with books in front of us and everybody out there like we're the boss. It's not how we doing it. Hey, Jameer, what's trash? I think you're talking about the landscape. What's trash? But and I think people value that, Tito, knowing we are equal, bro. We are volunteering. At any point, Tito can sit up and take a title. Doesn't mean anything. How effective you are at doing what you do doesn't have anything to do with the title. That's why I don't understand why coaches say, I'm only going to join if I can be the head coach. If you can only be effective on your team if you have the head coach title, then you're an ineffective coach to me. I've not been a head coach in many of my national runs, though everybody thought I was. And I was just as effective, just as important. My impact was great or even greater as an assistant coach than a head coach. And so I think your impact and how effective you are doing what you do, much more. He said Blackstone trash. Why? I think y'all got CLCF over there. What's the other team that start with a C, Tito?
No, CLCF. Then you got
It's another one that start with a C.
No, you got Pawcatuck, the Fairlawn Cardinals. They're in Pawtucket. Dorchester's over there. That's 3.
Well, I know Dorchester. I'm trying CLCF. There's another team that started with a C that I know that was over there. Everyone want the title of something and have their name on something when they win, right? But guess what, Jordan? The teams I was on, if the Hartford Hurricanes ever won the Natty, everybody would have said, "Yo, Phil won the Natty." I'm not saying I agree. Oh, Cranston, Cranston. That's the one I was talking about.
Cranston, CLCF. CLCF's in Cranston.
Is that
there's another Cranston? Hold on, Edgewood's in Cranston. I thought CLCF's in Cranston. There's another Cranston?
Hold on.
No, CLCF is in Cranston. Cherry Hill. But Cherry Hill, I think, is in preteen. Where is Cherry Hill at? Cherry Hill's out there in Rhode Island. I mean, I thought they were
I'm talking about Central Falls, bro. That's the team I'm talking about.
Central Falls, yes, Central Falls.
Central Falls, CLCF, Dorchester
Right.
Eagles,
Central Falls Panthers.
Fairlawn Cardinals. I would like somebody from Blackstone to tell me why did you guys all leave? If anybody out there know the answer, I wonder, because their league was vibrant. They had like 10 to 12 teams when Dorchester joined that league.
I have an idea.
What is it?
I'm just saying I have an idea why people left. I told you how I was gonna go years ago.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll tell y'all this. Central won't take anybody, but we are open for business, for conversations. If I'm being frank with you, can you do something funny? My sister and me are doing a challenge. Nancy, what you want me to do that's funny? Do something funny. What'd that mean? That's what I want to know, Phil. Is it due to Phil? I tell you what, when you lose in this All-Star game, it's going to be due to Phil. I'm coming straight to you. CLCF.
Hold on. Julio put up CLCF.
Fairlawn Cardinals. That's Blackstone. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
6.
No, Dorchester. And then Dorchester 7.
Woonsocket left. I heard Woonsocket left. Last time we was on social media, they said Woonsocket left. Make a face that's funny? Well, what? Do I make
bro,
funny
stop
faces?
reading that, bro. It sounds like my man Black, Jamal. Right. I think Jameer Black. He knows stuff. Put a song, cuz. Oh, I'm about to say, put a song, cuz.
Oh, my bad. My bad, Jordan. You meant the other Phil. I think Phil Hood no longer. He's just the regional director now, right?
That's what I heard, but I don't know. Who knows, bro?
He from the region. Phil, don't start. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Don't, because when your memes start, bro, you got at me too hard last year when you should have been getting at Tito, but you left Tito out of one of your videos and threw me in the video. When but he left you out of the main video. Had me, I'm not even bro. That's the one video that ever hit the internet that had me feeling some type of way. I coach Woon Socket. We in AYF. Oh, so is preteen not AYF? I don't know. I'm asking. Julio.
Preteen is independent, I believe.
Oh, Phil Hood is the regional director. So do y'all got a president yet, Julio? We just getting information. I don't hear much out of Blackstone. Y'all got a president yet? No, not yet. Okay. All right. Cool. Are y'all doing crossovers with other AYF leagues in New England? How y'all gonna do the schedule with 6-7 teams? Preteen is a local AYF. Oh, preteen is local.
Independent, like Shoreline and CCYFL.
They play each other?
No, they're under different umbrellas. Preteen goes by different rule structure, like every other independent. They got their own.
Oh, okay. Preteen got a lot of teams. That's why I'm asking all the questions.
They got their own infrastructure.
Sarita said, "What about the Fall River Falcons?"
They were in Blackstone at one point.
Fall River left, I think. Right?
I have no idea, bro. I never got that information. You was on that. He
just mentioned the teams. He didn't say Fall River, Tito.
Yeah, you was on that story. Me, I'm only concerned what goes on with Central Connecticut Pop Warner, Tri-State Pop Warner player.
2026 season coming up. Fall River, keep an eye out for the cold. It looks like Fall River.
No, Fall River's still in. They're still in. They still are. Ray Martinez just said it.
They still are. Okay. There's your answer, Sarita.
7 teams.
Fall River is still AYF, Sarita, they said. All right. Yeah. So listen, man. Yes. We don't have to sugarcoat what we up here doing. We're talking about Pop Warner because we do think that it's becoming a premier situation where you're going to get good games. I mean, think about it. You're basically talking about the neighborhood generals that was winning in AYF that's now in Pop Warner, right? You got Hartford, you got New Haven, you got Waterbury, you got Mount Hope, you got West Elmwood, Manchester been at nationals the last 3 or 4 years. Stratford. You got Stratford that was in nationals here. You got West Haven. Hamden was at nationals last year. So you got Junior Kane at nationals away from the nationals. Waterbury Patriots, full program, 6U all the way to 13U.
Big Bell City. Bell City.
Bell City's gonna make noise. Tito, tell them what we could expect. Oh no, we ain't really get into the fact that we got another program, Bell City. We just kind of let it hit the internet and not say nothing. They bring in 2 levels.
We already running 14.
We talking about neighborhood generals, Jordan. Neighborhood generals had 2.
Yeah. I think so. They had their 9. Their 9 and probably their 8. Their good team was 9 last year, I think, or 10 last year. They might have been 10.
No, they was a 10 because they went 11U. They 10. They played Mo Better. I think Mo Better got up in them, and at 10. Early in the year, I know because I played Mo Better a week later.
No, they're gonna be 10 this fall. That's the 10-year-old team. They were 9 last year. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, they went. I was at the same level as their team that went to national. One of their teams that went.
That's
to
a
national.
different team.
I don't know how
they're not with the generals. The 10U, the 9U that last year is gonna be 10U this year. Is in national.
What about the
8U? Yeah, I don't know, but the 10U that's going.
Oh, they had 8, 9. That's what he's saying. So they had 8, 9, and 10. So Wadi team and the team underneath them both went to nationals at AYF. So they're going, and then the 8U is going to be new. So that should be dope.
Jordan be on it though. Jordan be on. Jordan be knowing what's going on in the region. I give it to him. He don't close himself off from everything that's going on.
Yeah. He be tapped in. I like people that's locked. So they're 9 and 10U. Yeah, that's gonna be dope, Jordan. Hey, Jordan, what level you coaching this year at AYF?
He should be 10. He's gonna be at that 10U level.
You could be in Pop Warner too, Jordan. I'll just call you the Harper Hurricanes.
West Lynn,
Practice out.
what's up? Talk to Amy and Andre. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
What is the old Springfield Tigers? Nothing. They're the Springfield Tigers. I don't think they went anywhere. I think they're doing 11U and up. So that's what I heard.
Yeah,
I'm not tapped into
he put a flyer. He put a flyer out yesterday. I think they still trying to do everything. I saw his flyer.
Oh, they
his
are?
flyer went out yesterday.
Oh,
I saw his
so,
flyer that went out yesterday.
There you have it. I think that they'll be doing
Bro, we waiting on West Lynn, cuz that's who we want. We want West Lynn.
They're all as well, Tito, after that. There's another one. Be easy.
Whoa. Oh, you already know Big Beef. We waiting on you, cuz. Big Beef.
No, yes, that, but I was wondering what I was talking about.
Big Beef. We want the Dorchester Eagles back in Pop Warner. The Dorchester Elite Eagles back in Pop Warner.
This guy, bro. This guy. All right, Tito, let's get to it. Last topic of the day. And I think all of us is gonna find this one amusing. Last topic of the day, Tito. I know many of us youth coaches, and I oftentimes say this, and I don't be braggy about it because I know other coaches do too. Last question. Let me see what Jordan said first. Too much behind the scenes stuff got to be ironed out with Pop Warner thing. But nah, hey Jordan, you not.
Oh no, because they got that serious. I forget the issue over there.
Oh, it's not an issue. It's not an issue. That issue was worked out, bro. But let's keep going. I can tell you what I know. Let's just move on. That is not true, but I don't even want to address it publicly. Youth versus high school coaching, pros and cons. Tito, I'm gonna let you tackle this first. I think at this juncture, coaching youth football. Well, I'll go first, I guess. Coaching youth football. First of all, I'm not giving up my professional job that feed my family for a high school stipend. We say it's not a salary up here. Down south, 80,000-90,000 is a salary. Up here, 5 to 10, 15,000, that's called a stipend.
Yeah, not even that. Not even those last jobs that just went out was only at $9,000.
That's a stipend.
That's not.
Oh, I want to say this though. I think youth football. I think me personally, I think we're somewhat more impactful. Now I know people can argue because high school got that transition into college that's the real impact. But I think we're more impactful. And most of all, Tito, I think as soon as you and I take a high school job, the first thing they're going to tell you is you and I got to get off this damn internet doing this podcast. Mm-hmm. And I just feel some type of way about people being that political that they have that type of leverage over you.
Well, we don't think it's political. We've seen high school coaches that tried to have platforms via football, basketball, whatever, have lost their jobs over 100% over freedom of speech. The other thing is just high school coaching now in Connecticut has all become way too political. Everything from dealing with the administration in the school you're at to dealing with your athletic director, booster club, everything. There's a lot of external forces, more so than even in the youth game. There's way more external forces against you at the next level. Again, you couple that with we would never give up our day jobs to take less money and more time. I mean, the youth game still satisfies, my hunger, your hunger. And I believe we touch a lot more kids. We deal with a lot more kids. Yeah. We're dealing with a lot more teams. They're dealing with a varsity JV at most, maybe, let's say in a big school, maybe they got 80 kids. We're dealing with hundreds of kids. I mean, so I ain't got no problems with everybody thinks, and we get high school offers all the time. Everybody thinks I got this want to do it. Really, I'm good where I'm at. I'm good where I'm at. The big time, OG told me this a long time ago. The big time is where you at, bro. Period. I don't have the itch. I've entertained a couple of these jobs, but then when it comes down to the come down, I really enjoy what I do here still. So I don't, again, when you start talking about the political shit that comes with the high school level and having to keep your mouth shut, act a certain way, you got to answer to a principal, a vice principal, athletic director. It's just not worth it. We're here. We still have the luxury of controlling our own narrative.
So listen, I will tell you, if the right job came along and I had enough time, I'd entertain it. And I would be successful at it because I know the draw. If it's in the city of Hartford, especially, I know the resources I would be able to pull in from the city to help flourish our city and bring it back to where it was. But let me say this, Tito. A high school coach called me one time after our podcast, and he said, "Yo, Phil, you and Tito are a little wrong about something." He said, the high school coaches, because I oftentimes say high school is so removed from the parents, it's closer in youth, then it gets distant. You can't. He said that's not true. He said to me, bro, they run up on you when you walking through the tunnel, the crazy ones, because their child didn't get in the game, because their kid ain't getting what they want, or as a college coach in the stands and their kid didn't get those accolades. So the high school coach said, high school is not once what it's not what it once was, because we deal with parents coming to the school asking to come into our office. We deal with parents taking to social media about us like the youth coaches. We deal with parents trying to attack us and get loud with us and disrespect us on the sideline like we youth coaches. This is not when you were a coach, Phil, when none of that stuff, a player, when none of that happened in high school. And I said, wow. And Robbie just said, bro, nothing's changed. Same rodeo, it's just older kids. That's exactly what the high school coach told me. And I was like, maybe that's why, Tito, we're seeing what we consider prominent high school jobs openings. Like, wow, what's going on? Maybe the parents don't understand how they're affecting the game total from a social standpoint. Like you probably got walking away.
The real truth of the matter is the hours and the pay sucks.
Say something else when you're done. So talk about the pay. A coach. I was at Manchester basketball game. Because my daughter was a cheerleader, so went to watch her cheer. Obviously, I was watching the game. I was talking to a coach right now in high school. Actually, he just got announced on a position. And he said to me, we were sitting there, he said, people don't realize high school coaches also spend a lot of money out their pocket. When they go to these flag tournaments and stuff, Tito, the high school don't pay them nothing. They're using their personal cars. They're picking kids up. They're bringing the kids to the games. They're bringing the kids home. They're feeding the kids. They're housing the kids out of the coach's pockets. Out of the coach's pockets. Yes, Colin, they are. And so I'm like, wait a minute. I thought that, I'm going to be honest. This is my ignorance about high school football. I thought that high schools took care of all y'all high school coaches' travel, stays, when y'all go to these 7-on-7.
Yes, a lot of these, a lot of the high schools
pay for all of this stuff.
A lot of the high schools in Connecticut sports programs are running in a deficit. That's why they have booster clubs. A lot of programs have slashed. A lot of programs have slashed resources, and part of it is freshman football. If you notice, there's barely any freshman football anymore. There's very few programs that carry freshmen. If you name me any high school in Connecticut that plays more than 4 or 5 freshman games, I'll be surprised. Freshmen they're lucky if they get 5 games. There's not that many schools that carry it no more. Most people are carrying just JV and varsity. So, little by little, resources are being slashed there. Again, how many people can get there at 2:30 when they're practicing? There's very few people that can meet that time.
You gotta have the right job. Honestly, you got to be working in a school, working third shift, something along those lines to even coach nowadays. High school only gets paid for certain months. Yeah. At least that's what it is.
Here, but they get a stipend. In Connecticut, like the job that I took, you would pick your check up Thanksgiving weekend, huh?
Yeah, you get the check at the end of the season.
Thanksgiving weekend, somewhere around there, either before or after.
And so for me, I don't envy what high school doing. I mean, Tito, we
I
go
don't. And listen, the cats that chase the opportunity
5-6 days a week with the game.
The cats that chase the opportunity, more power to them. Me, again, I just think, like I told you earlier, I believe we're a lot more impactful where we're at. I mean, look at the platform we created here. We got a little more invested in the space than most people do. You know what I'm saying? Because we blazed our own path here and gave our space a platform where we could have these type of conversations. And in Connecticut, unfortunately, the time requirements to coach high school football and the pay just don't. The math ain't mathing. Like it ain't mathing. Like
that high school is not what it used to be in Rhode Island. Terrible culture, underpaid, underappreciated in politics with the administration and school committee. Everyone
that's everywhere, dog. That's just not in Rhode Island.
If there was freshman football everywhere, there would be no 13U. I think 13U would cut down a lot more. Yeah, Jordan, you gotta wait all season to get your check, bro. Want to come coach at Hartford at high school? Youth is where it's at, changing the foundation of the kids. That's what we believe, but maybe that's what we believe because we're here. I don't know.
No, it's not, because I'm going to tell you, bro. I've talked to a lot of high school coaches that done both, and most guys I talked to at high school, when they get up there, they can't wait to get back to youth. And then when they get back to youth, they're like, you know, why did I ever leave? The most fun I ever had was here, because you deal with a different level of politics in high school. Again, there's a lot more external forces that will work against you. Like I said, the academic administration, the athletic director. If you and another coach don't get along, he'll start bombing on you. Like there's other factors that play into being a high school coach that don't exist where we could kind of control the narrative down here.
I believe that I believe there's a place. I believe that if you're in a high, it makes sense for me why high school administrative workers, teachers, admin people would coach high school. You're there, it's right after school, it's transitioning one to the other. Just like I understand why so many more people would want to coach youth, because most youth people don't typically work in the school. They got other type of lives, and youth allow them because practice is at 6 at night, like me, daughters, cheerleading, track, basketball, you know, this. I can do flag football now. I can do all of that and still go coach the youth because I got a buffer of time. And so I think youth football makes it a little easier, Tito, in that we can also schedule our own games, right? I can choose to play on Sunday or Saturday. My choice. I can work around the schedule and the needs of our program, our community, etc. Whereas the CIAC force feeding you what they feel. I think that's a little different. And I think that makes a big difference. A lot of 13-year-old 7th graders, though. So what would they do?
There's always going to be a 13U. Yes, you get there.
We weren't saying there's teams. It was saying the opposite.
No, but I'm saying that you do get the occasional very young freshman that's going into high school that, you know, got the early birthday or whatever it may be, that he's 12 turning 13 in his freshman year. But for the most part, you're going to have plenty of 13-year-old 7th graders to play 13U in the fall.
Most 13-year-olds are 7th graders.
Yeah, most from what I know.
Most.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, it's some variations. Some kids get skipped depending on where your birthday is.
No, they don't get skipped. In Connecticut, we're allowed to push kids out prior to 5. That's not like that in every state. Connecticut is one of 3 states that allow you to start school prior to 5. Most states ain't like that. That's why we're always at a disadvantage nationally, because our kids are usually, if you look at the ages, we're on the younger half of the spectrum compared to them teams from the South and them other states. There's only 3 states in all the 50, what is it, 51 states? I don't even know, whatever.
These states, 51.
Push kids. They allow you to start prior to turning 5. There's only 3. Connecticut's one of them. And that puts us at an athletic disadvantage.
I sometimes wonder, Tito, I sometimes wonder if that factors into nationally, holistic.
It does factor into it, bro. I showed you. Look at the way them cats be looking when we out there compared to us, bro. Yeah. Look, I showed it to you. Look at the Ohio teams. But even that
Yeah.
Gilbert team from Arizona, you could look at that Gilbert team. They had dudes out there at 12U that was manly
That
looking.
just, I mean, look at
this
the
world shit,
Indio
like,
Flight team, dog. Look, New Haven played a great game against Indio Flight,
and
but
New Haven
looking
had
at
some spectacular
the
looking
field,
athletes.
I
They
know,
had
but
some
look at
spectacular
them on
looking
the field
athletes. But
together.
against NEO Flight, it didn't look like
crazy.
much.
It didn't look like much, and they looked like the size of those kids out of Ohio. It's like, where are you finding 13-year-olds that look like that? I'm gonna be honest. If we took the top 25 kids from the All-Star game, both sides, out of the 50, 25, I don't know if we look like that, Tito.
Bro.
Maybe you got a couple, Frigo, but they line was like that.
Bro, they had this kid that was 6'4", 300 pounds, bro. He wasn't fat, bro. Like,
no, bro. I remember him coming over, like literally coming over, and his father's reaching up to help him with his helmet. It was crazy. What would be the perfect age cutoff? Tito and I disagree. Tito think the end of the year.
no, I think 1231 grade base. The best rule structure is 1231 grade base football. It solves all these issues, but nobody's ever going to agree with me. But go ahead, Phil, tell you.
I like letting the freshmen play if they're freshmen, because everybody's not playing football in high school. And if this is something for those kids to do, to keep them occupied, to keep them busy, to keep them off the streets, that's a dangerous age. If you look at statistically, starting with that, 7th grade to freshman, sophomore era, if we can still capture those kids and give them something to do, I like that. I think 7/31 was good. 7/14 is cool. I think July 1st a little early, only because I like the vacation. And I don't want to, if you start in July 1st and school ending June 24th, when are you supposed to you got 1 week of vacation before you start youth football. We have those kids around here. They just don't play football. It's a culture thing, Terrell said. The other places, their 6'4s are playing football. Ours aren't. That's true, Terrell. And Connecticut, and somebody said this last week. I think it was Darity. In Connecticut, 6'4 guys think that they basketball centers. And typically, they are big power forwards and centers in our area. So they think they basketball players. Until they realize a 6'4 power forward or center that could barely dribble and shoot ain't got no shot at getting a D1 scholarship. But to be out of here at every prep school wanting them in football. Again, if I could speak to Terrell's point.
That's the same conversation, though. That's the same conversation that I have with the trainers lying to kids, like letting the 300-pound kid go to running back training. It's the same conversation with these basketball gurus that are going to tell you got a shot, but you're 5'11", your father's 5'8" and fat, and your mother's 5 feet. You ain't playing basketball, dog. It's just not happening, cuz. And that's the same along the same lines. People,
because we look like the bad guy for saying stuff.
Delusion. Nah, I'll be telling the truth. I look at your father, look at your mother. You got them playing the wrong sport.
We typically. I told you this, Tito. After every podcast, there's people in my inbox who kind of feel like, we're talking down on kids, and that's never what it is. It's an opinionated show, and I think that's most of the times why y'all be feeling some type of way about us personally. Y'all forget that it's an opinion. It doesn't mean there always will be people that slip through the cracks. Tito, do you guys got a 9U in Bell City? Colin said.
Colin said in the spring, no. In the fall, potentially. We're running 2 11s in the spring, a 13 and a 14. One of those 11s is going to be a site team, whereas they're going to be playing the other guys' B teams, because we had a lot of numbers come out for that 10-11 age group. But we're running out 4 teams in the spring.
I agree, Jordan. That's a longer conversation. A lot of people disagree. It's 100% studies that at least the majority of coaches want multi-sport athletes. I spoke with a prep school coach that told me he don't even look at non-multi-sport athletes, and is one of the biggest prep schools in Connecticut and put out some of the most biggest recruits out and said, if you're not a multi-sport athlete, he don't even look at you. But there's some people that disagree and think you should specialize. I've seen them say that too. I tend to agree with you. I think statistically it's on your side, but this stat, listen, let me tell y'all something about stats. You can find statistical data to back anything you want in the world on any decision you make. I'll leave it there. Again, what did I say last?
Find a pro to a conversation, a con, and then they'll have a male study on both sides, and then you're really confused. Again, a lot of the times when I'm speaking from a person that was a college athlete, that had a son that was a college athlete, that been involved with sports my whole life, my father being in sport. I'm always going to give you an honest opinion from a person that's been involved in the sports realm his whole life. My whole life, I've been part of a team and active in sports. And like I said, my son played. I just know some things most people don't, and I'm always going to be honest with you guys. You ain't got to agree with me. You ain't even got to like it. But size is the end all be all when it comes to all of this. And if you want a chance of playing sports at a high level, if you want a chance of playing at a high level, you better hope your kid is plus 6 feet tall. Like, you ain't got to like it, but this is the truth. You better be plus 6 feet.
You guys are speaking facts when it comes to size. Parents don't realize how important size play a big role in recruiting. It's good for parents to know early about genetics of their kid. It plays a big part. Right. And this is coming from one of the most highly recruited kids in the state of Connecticut over the last 4 years. Mom saying that. I'm just saying. I have kids with a soccer player. I was using my brain at 18. What?
Hey.
I had kids with a you had kids with a soccer player.
He's trying to say he
Jordan,
got
that
it
was
right.
on purpose. Ain't Jordan like 6'4"?
No, Jordan like 6'5", 6'6". Jordan,
how tall are you?
6'6".
Don't give us your
6'6".
TV rapper.
He's
give us your
6'6",
real doctor that put that thing on your head height. My thing is multi-sport athletes that the people talk about are freak athletes who could show up on a high school game and dominate without even practicing, not your average Joe. I tend to agree with that as well. Correct, Tito. I coach college ball. Size is everything.
Bro, even D3. I'm gonna tell cats right now, even D3. Everybody thinks they're gonna be D1. Let me tell you something. A lot of these cats we talking about ain't even good enough to start at D3. Even at D3, and I'm sure some of these D3 coaches could attest to this. Their offensive linemen are running between 6'3", 6'2" on the short end, maybe bigger. And I'm going to say 270, 280. I'm sure their DBs and safeties are probably anywhere between 5'11", 6'1". Linebackers are probably all around 6 feet. Very few are under 6 feet. Now, I'm not saying there's the rare 5'10" or 5'11" kid that's not going to crack the lineup. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, for the most part, you guys think that anybody could just go play D3. You're going to go out there and feel small if you're an average size person in today's game.
Listen, it's about size, man.
Again, Jordan, size. You're talking about 1%. Of course, you get the Kyler Murrays, you get the Michael Vicks, you get those guys that were hovering around 6 feet that break the exception that breaks the rule. Like, you get those guys, Doug Flutie, yes, those guys come around every once in a while. It's not the norm, though. It's not the norm. Allen Iverson was not the norm. There's very few guys you'll see at 5'11".
Wait. I'm about to tell y'all what happened with TV. What happens with TV, Tito, is we oftentimes think a kid is small because we forget he's standing next to people that look like Tyler Boyd.
Right, that's huge. Right.
Ole Miss quarterback is 6'1".
Right.
Not small, bro. Yeah, he looks small like a little kid. Spot Webb used to look small. How tall do y'all think Spot Webb was?
5'7", I think, 5'8". He was short. For basketball, he was short.
Right.
5'8", 5'7".
Spot Webb was 5'7". Tell me he didn't look around 5'5" around them.
Yeah, no.
Who's somebody that looks small right now? I'm a D3 coach. I'm at Bridgewater State. We average 6'3",
That's what I'm
290.
telling you. Look. Well, I
DB's
told you,
average
DB 6 feet.
6'2",
6'2".
190.
I told you.
Bro, don't blame us. He's telling you, you had a parent telling you whose son has been recruited by the FCC and big time schools. It's about your size. Start there. Now, if a coach have your son playing basketball, and if it's look, if you just doing it for fun and your son gonna be a doctor, rock out, cool. But if you have dreams of playing a sport, you better think early about, okay, my son is only gonna be 6 feet. Where do usually the 6-foot football players play? DB, maybe quarterback if you're an extremely talented athlete, but mainly DB, and maybe you can get away with it at running back. That's really it. There's nowhere else for those kids to go on a football field. They're never going to the line. Probably not going to be a receiver much. You got to be really, really good, Wes Welker type, but you're probably not going to be a receiver. Your height will determine your capabilities in football. That's it. In basketball, I don't even think you got a shot nowadays, bro, if you're not 6'3" and above. 6'3" is hard because you go to the NBA.
And at 6'3", 6'4", you can't be a big man in basketball. You better have ball skills, how to handle the ball.
You gotta be a
play defense, play off the ball, run. You know, you're gonna have to do other things. 6'3", 6'4", don't get it done no more on the basketball court.
Solly said 5'6".
Oh,
that's Spud Webb. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, and people forget he was a freak athlete.
The average height of a D1, we don't got to look it up.
Was in a dunk contest. Wasn't Spud Webb in a dunk contest?
Yeah, he won it.
That's a freak athlete, bro. That's a freak athlete.
The average D1 QB, we ain't got to look it up. I would say it's either 6'5", 6'5", or 6'6". I would say right now in the current game, 6'5" or 6'6". Most of those guys are. I could be wrong. Could be a little shorter, but for the most part, you're 6'3" or better. 6'3" or better.
Actually, a little less, but I knew that.
What?
Average DB in Division I is 175.
You're talking about QB.
I thought he said DB.
QB.
QB. Oh, I thought he said DB. 6'2", 6'3", 200 to 220. 40-yard dash. 40-yard dash.
Those are still big people. 6'2" and 6'3" is huge around normal people.
That's big, bro.
It's huge around normal people.
And here's the thing. When y'all, I don't want to knock no children, but when y'all come to me and tell me, yo, my kid just ran a 4.6, I be thinking half of y'all crazy. I just don't tell y'all. I'm just going to speak generally. A 13-year-old down south already got a D1 offer from the U. Those are all verbal offers. I don't know how much those stick. Tito and I covered those, and we had college coaches weigh in.
They're not real till your junior year. They're not real till your junior year. They're not real till your junior year.
Webb squatted like 500 pounds. Look at his legs. Probably the way Nate Robinson, 5'9".
Robinson was a freak athlete. Again, you guys are talking about the one in a million.
He was a freak athlete.
Yes, you guys, and he was good at football. He played Division I football and basketball. People forget Nate Robinson was a two-sport athlete at Washington. Absolutely. He was a two-sport athlete.
Daryl, you're right. He said these smaller athletes stood out as exceptions to the rule at an early age. Their talent was different compared to everyone else's from youth to pros. That's true. When you have those freak athletes, like Tito said, it's no wonder a D1 football player is transitioning to D1 basketball. That just tells you he has freakish weight, jumping skills, running skills, athletic ability. It's just freak. You know, sometimes two parents will get together and create a wonderful God creation, bro. And Spud Webb and Nate.
I gotta listen to John Brown. John Brown got the remedy. Y'all gotta listen to John Brown.
What he say?
He's telling y'all what to do. You got to think about this type of thing before you go, spreading your seeds.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. Let's leave it there.
Got to take it into consideration. We got too old. We got too old.
Boy got knocked out by Jake Paul, though. Who got knocked out?
Nate Robinson. Jake Paul way bigger than him. Way bigger.
Jake Paul big as hell, though, bro. Like Jake Paul knocked a lot of us out. Check your inbox, Phil. The kid died. Yeah, I just saw it. And the way we got that ball, Pete caught that ball was crazy. I just saw that. That was crazy. So I mean, look, we're talking about the pros and cons. We're talking about also athletes. I do think that the number one reason you should be playing youth football is fun and development. Those got to be the first two things, parents out there, that you sign your child up for. To have fun and to become and get development. Now, depending on the team you put your child in will depend on the speed of development. It's not always about great coaching and bad coaching. Sometimes, and this is where the discussion can go left, and we're not going to get into that tonight because I'm leaving in 9 minutes. But I'm going to tell y'all this. Joining a stacked team can help your child develop a lot fast or slow, depending on the mental of the child. People got to be careful, Tito. And I want to say that again. You better make sure your son got some dog in him if he's joining a team that got dogs there. Because, Tito, if I'm not mentally ready to compete at a high level and I join Tito's team that consistently practice and competes at a high level, what happens is, Tito, my child start getting in front of the line and doing this. Yo, you could go. Letting Tito child go. Phil, you next. All right. Yo, you could go, Joe. You see him fade in the black. Now, he's a good football player. He got all the athletic ability in the world, all the skills to compete, but mentally, he don't have the dog in him to compete. That's not something y'all parents need to blame coaches for. So it's a couple things that y'all out there got to make sure when y'all doing it. One, obviously look at genetics. Listen to all the coaches that's here. Everybody telling you facts. Two, youth football is fun and development. Just because your child, conversely, Tito, just because your child joined the wackest team you could find so he could play all day and score 1,000 touchdowns, don't mean he's getting developed. Because you go to the suburb league, he scored 100 touchdowns, but he never got dog in him. Then he go to high school where they need dog in him and he ain't got no dog in him. So you know your child best. You know everything. I'm telling you right now, make sure you balance both because it's very important that kids are developed in both. Now you get into unique situations where you have great coaching staffs. They practice at a high level. They can create a little bit of the dog in them. But parents, when you driving home, talk to your son, your daughter about the sport. How was it? Did you catch the ball? Why did you drop it? You know, your child will tell you clues like, man, they was picking on me. Gotta have that dog in them. That's what kids do. I got two daughters. They fight 24/7, pick on each other. Half the time they say they don't love each other. They both got their own beds. Actually, we got extra rooms. You know what? They sleep in the same damn bed every night when I go in there. Why? I don't know. But they go at each other. They go at each other. Kids are going to go at each other. Talk to your kids. You can kind of figure out if they don't got that dog into them, don't snatch them from the team. Start talking to them about it. Bring it to your head coach. Coach, I'm a little worried that my son might be getting a little, drawn back from the competitiveness of it. I don't want you to change nothing, but push him a little more. Push her a little more. Get that dog out of them. They got it. I'm telling you, I know my child, they got it. That's okay to say too. It's better to handle it like that than going, Tito don't know what he's doing because my son ain't got no dog in him. It's Tito's fault. It's not always the coach's fault. It's not always the coach's fault.
Here's the truth. Here's the truth about when you picking a program for your son. You need to find a program where they practice well. Because the one thing about football, and this is going to be the last thing I'm saying all night, the one thing about football is you are going to practice 4 or 5 times more than you'll ever play. So if there's one thing to be good at when you want to learn how to play football, and if you want to be successful at playing football and want to play football in high school and want to play football in college, you better put an emphasis on practice and learning how to practice at a high level. That's the sauce. You better learn how to practice efficiently at a high level and practice with some grit. You can't take reps off. The only way to perform in the game at a high level is you have to practice at a high level. I mean, that's just a fact of life. And when I watch a lot of people's practices.
You said this before. Let's help them out. How many times a week we practice? Let's say 3. 2 hours.
Let's say 3. 6.
3. That's 2 hours, 6 hours.
For 2 hours you play.
let's say July 15th to mid-December. What is that? 6 months?
Yeah.
Let's say 6 times 4 is 24. That's 24 weeks at 6. That's 124 times 6 is what? 24?
No, it's 2,400.
6 times 4 is 24.
Yeah.
Right? All right. So how many games you play? Let's say one game
10.
per week.
Let's just say 10 games.
10 games. That's 2 hours, 20 hours of football game in which you're not playing
2,400 hours of practice. It's 24 hours of practice. So where should you put your point of emphasis? Where should your point of emphasis be?
Or where should you be looking to hold accountability to the program?
How you practice. How you practice.
You can. I told you, any good coach can show up to a practice and see if their child is being treated right. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Last thing I'm going to say. Do not put what you would do on those coaches. That's not a good coach. I'm saying if I show up to practice, and I'm going to tell you what I know, and I said this in my coaches meeting. When I show up to practice at 6 o'clock, Tito, and it's 6:30, when everybody should be getting into their groove, and I see Tito team running laps for 4 times, you know what I know instantly? Tito, I said this to my coaches. Tito came to practice with no goddamn practice plan. So because Tito don't have a practice plan, he has to think of something to do. He's making the kids run lap so his coaches can huddle up and come up with a damn practice plan. Burns my ass in the heart for Hurricanes. I told all my coaches by 6:30, you should have stretched and ran your laps. I need to see y'all doing something. Y'all should be
running the laps. The only time you should be running the lap. The only time you should run the lap is right when you get to practice to loosen them up before you get the flex lines. If you're punishing them with laps, that's another key that you don't know what the hell you're doing. Period. There's no having a kid run a lap serves no punishment. No teaching lesson in the punishment.
Not physically. Right. That's mental punishment. That's the first thing.
It's not even mental punishment. What are they getting? They don't even run the lap. Watch what these kids do. They walk the whole goddamn field. Nobody's watching them because the coaches don't know what they're doing.
Right. And so I try to tell people, and I genuinely do. I try to tell people, if you watch practice and you see the coaches huddled up in this mid-practice, they ain't got nothing for them coaches to do. They tell them run laps. I like rolling personally. If y'all never did it, have your kids roll.
Here's another telltale sign. You see kids standing around for more than 2-3 minutes. If they're sitting around for more than 2-3 minutes, that means your practice has no flow. It has no rhythm. It has nothing. Kids learn by doing.
Or you need more coaches. If you got 30 kids learn by doing.
Kids learn by doing. Reps. Good reps, bad reps. As long as they're getting reps, eventually they will get it. How many reps can you get into practice over time will translate on the football field. But we giving it all away tonight. I can't keep talking
2,400 hours. 2,400 hours. If you can get 15, 20 reps an hour times 2,400, that's pretty good.
Thousands of reps, cuz.
But Tito, I'm end with this. What do we know? We're just a couple old guys, Tito, hearing you football, trying to coach, trying to get a couple gyms out. I'm old. I embrace my oldness. I tell everybody out there, and this is my word of the day. I had to ask somebody that called me old. I said this to you before. What is the goal of life? What's the purpose?
Grow old, I would think.
Nobody wants to die young. So when people call you old out there, embrace it. Because you know how many people on this earth never lived to see the age of 48? Kudos. Your boy birthday in July. I'll be 49. And for my 50th, I'm going to throw a badge for all of New England Pop Warner at the big house, baby. It's your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140. The goal in life is to grow old. Stay healthy. Stay in shape. Go run and do whatever it is that's your vice that keeps you going. Get it done. And I'm out.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General. Big 860 Army. Oh, shit. 860 Army, Big Bell City. Peace to the gods.
Peace to the gods. We got a fun-filled show tonight.
I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General. 860 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm.
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to Nationals.
I'm around.
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
We lock the
I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No,
Never.
that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.